Bless the Lord. Damien Parrott here, author of the best-selling book, 5 Deadly Church Mistakes Every Christian Must Avoid. And I help courageous followers of Christ identify and walk in their purpose in under 45 days so they can transition from going to church and start being the church. So you've been trying to find a place to fellowship with authentic believers. From outside, you see countless people stream out of their lukewarm lives into the regular Sunday service. You try to be like the other real Christians, but for some reason, something is amiss. Not this time. Put these tips into practice and they'll work for you, I guarantee it. Tip number 1, never think church is a building. Warning, the actual church is a congregation. Read that as the people of God. And going to church has given many people the false idea that their spiritual lives consist of a weekly service, leaving the rest of the week to live for themselves. Tip number 2, avoid churches that only do topical study. Look for a chapter by chapter, verse by verse method of study. Tip number 3, be sure to find a church that equips every believer to make disciples. Here's a bonus tip. The Great Commission, which is the mission of the church, is to make disciples. So find the church that is serious about its mission rather than doing other things instead. Tip number 4, don't get distracted by the many good causes the churches have aligned themselves with, such as social justice, feeding the homeless, etc. Find a church that has the single focus of fulfilling the Great Commission. Tip number 5, look for the gospel clearly and articulately delivered. Note, the definition of the gospel is in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 1 through 4. Yet after 40 years of church experience, I find very few pastors or laymen who can clearly and accurately articulate this life-changing message. Tip number 6, train for the work of the ministry. Tip number 7, look outside of the normal. If you have any church experience, did it prepare you to actually make disciples? The most startling thing to realize is the words of Christ to our modern normal church, in which he says, yea, though I stand at the door and knock, he is outside knocking. In sum, finding the church is simple when you apply these 7 tips. So let me leave you with one last tip. Look for a church that will challenge you. You know the saying, no pain, no gain. You need to be challenged so you can grow. I put together a free resource I would like you to have. 5 tips to avoid counterfeit church. Click the link to get immediate access now. So until the next time, fight courageously, take action, and accomplish the impossible with God.